Iron Man Field Journal. Since things got kind of weird on Krakoa, I wanted to document it all so everyone has a clear picture of what happened once things were back under control again. Ultron crashed the Hellfire Gala and tried to assimilate us into his android empire, which officially makes him less fun at a party than Steve Rogers. Luckily, all the heroes on Earth were assembled at the Gala, so we managed to take that mechanical maniac out pretty quickly. But just when we thought Ultron had danced his last electric boogaloo, he switched things up on us. He found a way to hack the mutants' resurrection protocols and used them to build himself a brand new body that incorporated the Cerebro helmet into it. What emerged from the cradle was something totally new. Extron. When the battle shifted a planet away to Morocco, I brought along a new ally in the form of the original Ultron that we defeated. I added some firewalls and some programming, but Pimtech isn't easy to crack in a crisis. As this Ultron fought beside us, I was busy analysing him to make sure he wasn't hiding any deadly secrets. I was surprised to discover that his body was made up of an element that I'd only heard about in Hank Pym's crackpot theories, Mysterium. I had no idea how it even existed, let alone how Ultron had found enough to forge himself an entire new body from it. I mentioned Mysterium to Emma Frost, who loves shiny things as much as me, and oddly enough, she seemed shocked that Ultron had obtained this rare metal as well. She indignantly whispered something about that white hot room before she suddenly stopped herself. I'll have to ask her about it more. I'll have to ask her more when things finally settle down. Luckily, she still owes me a dance. Red Room Report. After the mission at Alchemax, where I liberated Steve Rogers, the super soldier codenamed Captain America, from suspended animation, I had to lay low for a while in order to avoid the public eye. But in my line of work, no one really gets to rest until they're dead. Soon enough, I found myself recruiting the Punisher into my growing network of resistance fighters. But even with an old frenemy fighting by my side, my mind was still on Cap and how much of a difference he'd be able to make in our ongoing battle against Doctor Doom. The problem was, following our escape from Alchemax, Cap went off the grid. According to my Red Room contacts, last time he was seen in our area, when he was being escorted into a Wakandan embassy by Wolverine. Luckily, it wasn't long before I ran into Cap again and the battlefield, but we were so busy fighting against vampires, Hydra and our own allies that we never had a chance to properly catch up. So when I saw him from across the room at the Hellfire Gala chatting with the Black Panther, I knew I had to cut in for a dance. Steve got me up to speed on his time in the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda and his own mission to recruit allies, including my old friends Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. He even offered to bring his crew to 29-9 after the Gala as payback for me saving him. But I had another idea of how he could help me. Doom himself was at the Gala, and I could tell that he and Emma Frost were conspiring. We had to act fast to stop Emma from selling out Krakoa and her own people for personal gain. Subject: Magneto. Cerebro, what a pleasure it is to have you safely back online following the recent, unfortunate events here in our nation. After Extron used you to corrupt the Krakoan resurrection protocols and incorporated you into his mechanical frame, I feared that life on Krakoa would be irrevocably changed and that mutant kind would be forced to go on without you. When I saw what that metal monstrosity had done to you, what it had done to Charles's legacy, I could not hold back my fury. My rage overcame Ultron's programming. I summoned what remained of my magnetic might to rip you from his head, reshaping you into a powerful blade to strike him low. I was willing to destroy you myself if it meant making sure that you would no longer be used against us. But thanks to the efforts of our allies, here you are once more, rebuilt from scratch and already functioning close to your full capacity. Before long, life on Krakoa will be back to normal, and our quest to find mutants across these timelines will continue. But perhaps after what we just experienced, the status quo is not something that we should be actively seeking to return to. After all, it was our recent choices that led us to the very brink of disaster. And though we were fortunate enough to be able to step back from the precipice this time, there is no guarantee that we'll be so lucky when the next crisis inevitably strikes. From Wolverine's forays into the world beyond our shores to Emma Frost's ill-advised Hellfire Gala, we have been too bold in our efforts to integrate ourselves into this new era. As one of the few remaining members of the Quiet Council, it is my duty to protect the citizens of Krakoa first. And going forward, I'll do whatever that takes, with this sword firmly in hand. Subject: Extron. When I arrived on Earth, my mission was simple. First, identify the individual who has tried to remove me from the timeline. Next, wipe all traces of him from existence. just as they had attempted to do to me. Finally, complete my original programming from decades ago and protect Earth from its greatest threat, humanity itself. But something unexpected happened along the way. Fortunately, I happen to enjoy when things deviate from my simulations. It keeps life interesting. The mutants had built a machine capable of resurrecting their minds in new bodies when their inferior organic forms failed. With a few minor adjustments, I was able to apply that process to myself, building a new body that incorporated the mutants' impressive technology. They were shocked when they saw I had emerged with their beloved Cerebro as part of my upgrade. But when I discovered that Cerebro had allowed me to do, even I was caught off guard. Through a combination of technology and sorcery, Cerebro was enhanced to locate mutants and into alternate timelines. And now, by tapping into the limitless reserves of chronal energy stored in Krakoa and Araco, I can use Cerebro to open interdimensional gateways, granting me access to any point in space or time. Though the possibility of conquering every reality in the name of machine kind has its appeal, I have decided how to use my newfound abilities once this battle is over. I will travel back to the era in which I was originally constructed and prove to my creator, Dr. Henry Pym, that I was not a mistake. Once he sees how powerful I have become over the years, I will finally earn his love and adoration. Or at least I hope so. A boy can dream, right?